On this week's episode of the Going Deeper podcast, we're talking about summer practices. What's up, Fathom Church? Welcome to the Going Deeper podcast. These are episodes that we like to talk about a certain topic or a sermon series and go deeper in them, hopefully to help you go deeper in your relationship with God. I'm in our podcast studio with Chris Martin, our lead pastor. Hello, Chris.
Hey, Kyle.
And hey, this summer we are kicking off a series called Summer Practices. These are simple ways to live in God's grace. And all summer long, we're going to be talking about everyday practices that help us live in God's grace right where we're at, whether it's at home or at work or in our neighborhoods, wherever we're at. And each episode will be short, really practical, and we'll end with simple guided practices that you can actually try this week, wherever you are. And so this first episode today, we're going to be talking about the practice of presence in a distracted world. And so, Chris, let me ask you this one thing first. What gets you most distracted in life? You personally.
What gets me most distracted in life?
What are some things that get you distracted?
Yeah. I mean, so my phone is the obvious answer.
Sure.
But it's, that's a little piece of, metal and glass and stuff. So it's actually what's on the phone that gets me distracted. So I have to be really careful of what apps I allow on my phone because I can find myself in like a, they call it doom scrolling or just binge watching. Like I'm just susceptible to that stuff. So I can't have the YouTube app on my phone, or else I'll just get lost in watching dumb things. Not bad things, but just dumb things. Yeah. And it'll distract me from more important stuff. Like I can't have social media. I don't have social media, but I can't have that on my phone for the same reason. I'll just find myself endlessly scrolling. And maybe I just don't have a lot of self-control when it comes to that. Maybe that's, I know there's a lot of studies out there that this is a common thing, but man, this is one of the things that distracts me more than anything, is just endless wasting of time on my phone. That's probably my biggest distractor.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's a lot of people's too is, and for me specifically, it's those like almost like low grade distractions on a phone when it comes to like I can be pretty good at like, oh yeah, the YouTube or social media, like get rid of those. It's like the notifications of even just like, oh, an email or like this pause. Like I want to like clear all that and I want to do that right away. And so sometimes it's like the constant checking of those things of like making sure like, oh, did I respond to that? And like that, those little things. And that's why notifications I feel like can be so dangerous of like, you're just looking at your phone and then, oh, something pops up. Oh, something else good. And there goes your attention.
Yep.
Yeah. So those things are hard. And what we want to do here is kind of talk about some of those things, but like simple ways we can be more present with God and with each other, it just in our everyday lives. Again, this summer, especially, one of the scriptures that I was thinking about, obviously, when we talk about distraction and being distraction, we think of Martha and Mary in Luke chapter 10. Chris, what in that specific text, can you just give us like a quick hit what this text is and what we can learn about distraction or busyness through Martha and Mary?
Yep. So Jesus enters into a village and the text says a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. So Martha is who invites Jesus in. I think that's something to note in the story. Okay. And she had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. So Mary is in this posture of sitting at Jesus' feet and listening to him teach. But Martha was distracted with much serving. So apparently Martha is being hospitable. She's trying to serve. She's the one who invited Jesus in, and now Mary's sitting at her feet. And so Martha is distracted. That's the word that we're talking about, distracted with much serving. And so she goes up to Jesus and she says, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? So she, first of all, she's making an assumption about Jesus because she says, God, you don't care
Right.
Don't you care? Like this isn't fair. Don't you care? She actually doesn't care. The text doesn't indicate that Martha is bummed that she's missing out from being at Jesus' feet. It says that she feels like she has a certain level of responsibility to do these things, and she doesn't think it's fair that she has to do it by herself when her sister's there, and she at some level is questioning whether Jesus thinks it's fair or Jesus is in support of her. So do you not care that my sister has led me to serve alone? Tell her, this is still Mary or Martha speaking to Jesus. Tell her then to help me. So she wants Jesus to correct her sister Mary.
Sure.
But the Lord Jesus answered her, Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her. So Jesus, he responds with a soft rebuke of Martha. It's not a hard rebuke, but he says, you're troubled and anxious. He looks into her heart and he says, you're distracted by all this serving and it's causing you to be troubled and anxious, specifically about my character. Why don't you care? Right. And specifically about her sister's character. Like, hey, tell her to stop doing that. Tell her to help me out. Rebuke her, Jesus. And so Jesus says, hey, you're troubled and anxious with many things. He says, you're unsettled. Your distraction is now leading you to an internal like her equilibrium, her internal spiritual equilibrium is a bit off. And then he says, there's only one thing that's necessary, and Mary has chosen the better portion, and it will not be taken away from her. So I think that often in this parable, we demonize Martha and we kind of laud Mary. Yeah. Martha's like the doer, the works-based salvation girl, and Mary is just like the perfect princess of a disciple just sitting at you. But I think that's a misread. I think it's a misread. I think more the issue isn't the issue that Martha has is her distraction is now pulling her away from what's most important. Yeah. And I would say the most important piece of being at Jesus' feet, that you can define that a lot of ways, but the most important piece that he's saying is that distraction is causing this unequal unbalance in your spirit, this anxiety and this distraction. You're troubled and anxious by many things. So something about the good thing that Martha has chosen, it's a good thing to serve, to invite Jesus in and to serve, to be hospitable. Something in that has caused her to be so stressed out that now she's troubled and anxious by a lot of things. And Jesus is like, hey, it's causing you to question my character. And so I want you to get back to the good spot, to the balanced place, to the place at my feet. So I think there's metaphor there that we need to read into it.
Yeah. And so I think the one thing for me, and I want to talk about that just in pieces really quick, that I think that first piece of that this always brings up in me, and I think for most people is, Martha is like she's doing good stuff in serving and all this kind of stuff. And so
and she's not drunk.
She's not exactly. Yeah.
She's not like, it's not like Martha is doing, is the prodigal son. Right. And Mary is the perfect, that's not at all the case.
Yeah. Yeah. So then I think, and you kind of hinted on this, I think sometimes it's that works based, like we can be doing so much and but then we kind of justify it as like, well, look how like I'm doing all these good things, God. And miss the point. So what are like some things in life that we can get into nowadays that we just keep trying, like, this is still good, this is really good, this is really good, when it's actually not, because we're not focused on the main thing.
Yeah, that's good. Let me throw some out there, just top of the head. Working out. No one would argue that working out is a bad thing. Right. Like, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to stay physically fit. Yeah. And I think that some people get obsessed with it. Yeah. So, recreation, skiing, camping, totally, mountain biking. I mean, we live in Colorado, so, enjoy the mountains. These things are a gift from God, a common grace of His glory. We get to see Him and experience Him in creation, and it can be a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a good thing that taken too far is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Family. Like
that's what I was thinking. Like when you were saying the other one,
you can over focus on your family.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can make your family a child-centered family or a marriage-centered family,
Sure.
as opposed to a Christ-centered family. These are good things. And gosh, I mean, we could go on and on. Work, your career, your entertainment, sports, like all that stuff, real easily. They're good things. No one would say they're bad things, but they're good things. But they can actually, if you're not careful, if they're not kept in the right place, they can maybe pull you away.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. And as we're kind of talking about this, I think it is important first to obviously I identify your distractions. Like we talked about, the phone one's kind of easier with that, but maybe some of your distractions are those quote unquote good things,
right?
That we're not thinking we're being distracted by, but again, that kind of throws into the difference between like being physically present and actually present of like, well, I'm here with my kids and like doing this with my family, but it's like, yeah, but we're missing the point. Let's get into a couple practical things like when it comes to God, when it comes to our presence with God, which is what Mary was doing at the feet of Jesus. What are some like small things that we can do today to kind of to be closer into God's presence, to be more of that Mary, but really like even if we're Martha doing these things, that we can still remember and focus on the main thing. What are some small things that we can do if we feel so distracted?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can move into spiritual disciplines here, and I think that's probably okay, and probably at some level good and right. So yeah, you can set aside time to be in your word. You can set aside time for prayer. You can fast. There's things you can practice here, but let me even like zero out of that a little further and just say, where are you slow during the day? Like where aren't you, by that I mean like where aren't you achieving and moving the ball forward, as it were, in your day, whether that's chores, whether that like sometimes even disciplines, spiritual disciplines can become about like, I just got to get this done. I've got this next thing, and then to the next thing. And so like if I'm up early and then it's like, I got to read my Bible and then I got to pray and then I got to go for a run and I got to walk the dogs and I got to shower, then I got to eat, then I got to get to work. And it's like all of those things are pushing things forward. Where is the moment that in your day where you're not, where you're slow? Like, I wonder if there's something there to practice the presence. And I think there's little things to do, like find moments where you can program into your day, moments of reflection, moments. I mean, if we're going to use the Mary Martha thing, moments where you're sitting at His feet. Yeah. So we just had an elders meeting, and Gary in our elders meeting was like, what if you turn off the music in your car and you just thought about Jesus? Sure. Like, okay. Like there's a moment that you could maybe, so little, I mean, really little things in the shower, as you're laying in bed before you get out of bed in the morning, like that, few minutes, just, if you're a night person, like, I don't know, standing out on your back porch for 5 minutes before you go up to bed, take a deep breath of that night air. I don't know. Like, where are the things, the moments, just the micro, like you said, micro habits where you're not on your phone, where you're like, you're not filling that incessant gap with something that's, sometimes it's like I'm taking my dogs out before I go to bed and I bring my phone out just to check things one last time. Yeah. It's like, well, what if I didn't do that? Those kinds of things.
Yeah. And I think like for me specifically is like programming that. I think sometimes we feel like, oh, I want it to be like natural, and that kind of like the world we live in, if we're just banking on natural or like it's just gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And so I have to kind of program those little things for sure. And then last thing, what about like presence with people? Like how can we be more present with people that is honoring to God?
Well, it seems that that's what Martha's going through.
Yeah.
She's busy with other things and she's misreading Mary and she's misreading Jesus. Like both of her relationships in that story are skewed because of her anxiety and her distraction.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely this happens. Now, the easy answer is put your phone away.
Sure.
Now that's hard. That's difficult. It's an easy answer, but it's a difficult thing to practice.
Yeah.
But that's a big deal. Like put that thing in your drawer when you get home. Like stop it. That's a big thing. Yeah. But even like I was just at a meeting with a guy and kind of like a leadership guru guy. And he said he intentionally asks his wife every day, like at night, once he's home from work or whatever, he just says, "How was your day?" And you can't no, he didn't say that. He said, what happened today? Tell me about like what happened today. And your answer can't be nothing.
Yeah. I want to say that to my kids.
Hey, what happened today? And you can't say nothing.
Yeah.
And even just like that, like a moment of, hey, let me look at you in the eye. Let me ask you the question. What happened today? And you can't say nothing. Like I'm showing interest in you. I'm taking a moment. I notice this when I get home for my daughter. Like sometimes I'll get home from work and she's maybe like watching a show or something. And I'll say, hey, pause that.
Yeah.
And she'll pause it. And then I'll like look her and be like, how are you? You know, like meet my eyes, not a distracted, like, oh yeah, you know, like, hey dad, like, no, pause it.
Good.
Look at my face.
Yeah.
Let's take a minute. How you doing? What's happening? Where are you at? You know? So intentionality, I think, matters. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's good. Yeah. That's all we got for this episode. Hopefully this kind of helps you in your practice of presence with the Lord, and with each other. So yeah, thanks, Chris.
You bet.
Thanks, church, for listening. We'll catch you next time.